What's up, y'all? It's your girl QueensteezTV and I am back with another video. Y'all already know what time it is. It is time for story time. But before we get into the story, y'all, I want to welcome all my new subscribees. Welcome to the channel. I hope that you guys are having an amazing time on the channel. Thank you guys for subscribing. Y'all, make sure that y'all are liking the videos. So sometimes due to the nature of the videos and stuff like that, it cannot be monetized on YouTube. So y'all, I don't do memberships or subscriptions and all that stuff because you know it is free to come over here and just to enjoy yourself. So if y'all want to pay me, please pay me in likes, pay me in comments, shares, subscribes, all of that stuff, okay? So y'all make sure that you are liking the video. Also, if y'all want to buy a super chat or anything like that, feel free to do so below. But yeah, let's get into this story. Y'all, so recently I was talking to my cousin, y'all, and we got to talking about this story. And y'all, the story is really not funny, but it's funny like crazy, like funny like, oh my goodness. So listen, y'all, I was back in high school when this happened. So, you know, charge it to my heart and not my head, because y'all, I was a kid. I'm gonna blame it on me being a kid. I was a kid, okay? Period. So, y'all, let me just get straight into the story and tell y'all what happened. So, listen, y'all know when it's time for back to school, you want to get, you know, all your back to school clothes, shoes, and, you know, nails. If you was wearing nails back then, get your nails done, hair done. You know, you wanted to be that girl when you went back to school. Well, y'all, back when I was in high school, you know, back in the 2010s, the 2010s, back in the 2010s when I was in high school, you know, I had to get all my little things together. So the high school I went to, whatever, you could wear regular clothes, you know. Shout out to City. I'm at the City forever. Period. Yeah, City stand up. Anyway, but y'all, back when I used to go to City, we could wear regular clothes to school. So, y'all, during this time, I'm doing all my back to school shopping and this and that, all of this stuff. So, I always used to get my hair braided for back to school because y'all know I love braids. And braids is like one of the most easiest hairstyles that you can maintain. Like, you can put it in a ponytail. You know, you can do your little styles with it, wear it out. So, back then, y'all know, knotless braids was not a thing, okay? Knotless is something that came in the 2020s, okay? The girls back then was getting the regular box braids from the African shop, because they the only people who I knew, unless you had a homegirl in the hood. But if your homegirl in the hood was doing your box braids, that would take about 2 or 3 days. No, so we just went to the African braiding shop. So like I said, y'all, I had already got my little J's together, my little Converse. You know, I had went to Abercrombie and tore down the mall. Y'all, back then, that was the style back then. You know, kind of on like your little preppy. My class was, polo was out thing. So, you know, we had all the polo shirts. Like, you really had to put on, for real. So, I get all my school shopping. So, the last thing is the braids. Okay. So, the person who braided my hair, I'm going to call her Mary. I'm going to just call her Mary, okay? So, y'all, Mary had did my hair before. I used to go to the shop where Mary worked at, but I don't know if Mary stopped working at the shop or whatever, but Mary was like, you can just come to my house to get your hair braided, right? So, let me tell y'all how I met Mary, okay? My cousin, this cousin who I was just talking to about this, my cousin used to get Mary to do her hair. And when I saw her hair, I was like, oh, your hair look nice. So, you know, a few different times I had went to go to the actual hair braiding shop where it's a whole bunch of different braiders to get my hair done by Mary, right? So, y'all, back in the day, for a full head of box braids, waist length box braids, was $160, okay? And hair was included, okay? All you had to do was show up with your hair washed and blow dry for $160. Put a thumbs up, hit the like button, drop a comment down in the comment box for the $160, okay? Put some dollar signs down there for the $160. Now the grass is charging you $300 and $400 and $500 for some box braids, okay? And they don't even be long, okay? Now you go get your hair braided, it be like base price $300, and that's for the regular little length that stop right here. $300. Girl, what? So y'all know I'm pretty tall and I'm a pretty, big girl. I got it going on. So y'all know I need all of the extras, right? So it's base $300 plus $80 for extra length plus $50 to make sure it's extra full. Like, look, hold on, wait, y'all. Plus $50. You gotta buy your own hair, okay? Y'all know how I got on the girls last time. They tell you buy your own hair. Come with your hair washed and conditioned. I must like the smell of your conditioner. If you use Sulfur 8 or any products in your head that's irritating my nose, y'all know how the girls be, right? So anyway, I hit Mary up like, hey Mary, I'm trying to come get my hair braided, for back to school. What's your availability? So when Mary hits back, she's like, hey, I'm no longer at the shop. She's like, but I can still do your hair. Do you mind coming to me? So I'm like, okay. So I asked my cousin, because my cousin was my ride. My cousin older than me, so my cousin was my ride. Y'all, I'm gonna have to keep reminding y'all, listen, I was only in high school. I'm gonna keep saying that, okay? I was only in high school. So I had my cousin like, look, Mari said, can I come to her house? So my cousin was like, ask Mari, where do she live? Okay? So Mari hit me back and said, I live out Elk Ridge. Is that okay? So I hit my cousin. I said, look, she said she live out Elk Ridge. Is this too far for you to go? Mind you, y'all, we live in Baltimore City, but it's cool. Elk Ridge is out by, like, the airport. It might be, like, 30, 45 minutes from, like, where we were, right? So I said, is it okay if you take me out Elk Ridge to go get my hair done? So, y'all, I finally get my cousin to agree. And she's like, all right, cool. I'll take you out there. Ask her what time do she want you to come. Y'all, why Mary was like, can you come at 6 a.m.? Girl, Miss Girl, what? So y'all know I had to bribe my cousin. I'm like, look, I give you a little $20 in gas money. Y'all know I had my little summer job and all that. I was ready to pay. Okay, I had my money to get my hair done. I had my tip. And I told my cousin, listen, I'll give you some gas money. But please, I need these braids at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes, I do. So y'all, the day comes for me to get my hair done. And let me say it again. I was only in high school, okay? So we get there at 6 a.m. So in the previous conversation, she told me to text her when I arrive, don't ring the doorbell. So I was like, okay, I can understand. Don't ring the doorbell, right? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I guess she had a family, like, I don't know, whatever. She was like, don't, ring the doorbell. Call me or text me. I think she said text her. This was back in, like, the T-Mobile, like, sidekick era. So, yeah, we had text messaging. So, I texted whatever, let her know I'm there, right? She come. She opened up the door. So, when she opened up the door, she's like, telling me to be quiet. So, I'm like, okay. Like, I was about to be loud. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So, I'm like, where are we going? So, she, like, points down, like, to tell me to go downstairs. So, I'm like, okay, cool. So when I go downstairs, they had like a regular basement. I had couches and a big TV. And then it was like her station where she was braiding hair at. So literally, you know, once I'm downstairs, I'm just sitting down there waiting for her to come down. So it took her a minute to come downstairs, but hey, I ain't think nothing of it, right? So I'm just sitting there. She's like, huh, you want to watch something specific on TV? I'm like, no, this your house. Whatever you put on, I'm merely here just to get my hair done. Yo, I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, put this on, put that. When I go to get my hair done, I'm going to get my hair done. I ain't worrying about eating. I ain't doing nothing. I'm there to get my hair done and to leave, okay? That's it. So she like, you want to watch something in particular? I'm like, no, honey, whatever you put on, my eyes is going to watch it. Cool. So she like, you know, what color hair you want? You getting colored hair? What? I'm like, no, 1B. My mother is not going for no colored hair, baby. Just natural color. So, you know, the process is just going normal. She's braiding my hair. She asked me, she like, you know, you mind if I stop and get something to eat real quick? I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know, she was in her house. I was like, I can't tell you not to eat in your own house. So I was like, okay, fine, go get you something to eat. So she came back. She was like, can I offer you some food? And I was like, no, ma'am, I don't want no food. You know, they tell you don't be eating out of everybody's house. So I was like, no, I'm good on the food. You go eat. You enjoy yourself. I'm going to sit here and watch the movie. So she ate her lunch. She get back to braiding. Again, everything is cool. So she come back again. She's like, got these little ice cream. She like, you want some ice cream? She like, I mean, we was sitting here for a couple hours. She like, you don't want nothing? I was like, you know, maybe if you got a bottle of water, I'll take a bottle of water. But other than that, no, I don't want no ice cream. I don't even like ice cream. That's just a FYI. I don't even like ice cream. But I was just like, no, keep braiding. So, y'all, as she is braiding my hair, now mind you, y'all, it had to be like, so I came at 6 o'clock. So it was still like in the wee early hours of the morning. So it had to be maybe around, maybe like 10 o'clock in the morning. Like it was still like morning time to where people was like just waking up. So I thought that me and her was the only people in the house, okay? So I hear something coming down the steps. So I'm like, what the hell? Because mind you, so just imagine being somewhere for like 4 or 5 hours and it's dead quiet. It's just you and somebody, and then you just hear somebody just like run down the steps. Then you'll be like, okay, what's going on here? So, like, you know, back then, like, phones ain't, your battery wasn't on for that long, right? So, my phone was on the charger at this time, which was not where I was. So, after the person come down the steps, I see that it's a man. And the man is upset. So, I'm sitting there like, because I literally, like, I don't know what to do. So, he said something to her in their language. So, as y'all know, they're African. So, he said something to her in their language. Again, I'm looking like this because clearly you could see that he was enraged. So, she stopped braiding my hair. She went over to him or whatever. He was like getting loud, yelling, screaming. So I'm like looking, cause I'm in the chair, like they're over, like, you know, I can still see them, but they're like kind of over in the corner, like, you know how you come down, you know how you like come down steps, and then it's like a walkway, and you walk, and then you come in, then it's like the basement space. It was like a nice size basement space. So let me tell y'all again, I was only in high school. So he is like yelling and going berserk. So I'm like looking because I'm just like, what the hell is going on? And I hate not understanding or being able to understand what somebody is saying in another language. Like, what is you saying? Because I need to know if I need to get up out of here. What is you saying? So I didn't know what the man was saying. And I was like, I'm like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So, y'all, she said something back to him. And I I'm trying to go like this because I ain't trying to be like, you know, staring at somebody while they getting yelled at, you know, because that's embarrassing. Like, you know, even if your parent was yelling at you, like, that's embarrassing. Or if you in an argument in public, like, even with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, like, that is embarrassing. Like, that is like my #1 rule. Like, oh my goodness, do not fuss with me or yell at me in public. Like, when we get in the car, or we can have at it in the car, but don't do that in public, and don't do that in front of nobody, because what? If you embarrass me, baby, I'm gonna embarrass you even more. Okay, are you not embarrassed? Embarrassed. All right, y'all, so back to the story. So I'm trying not to be like stirring in their business, but I'm trying to, like, you know, look out my side eye, because I need to know if I need to get up out of here, okay? So I'm trying to look straight, like I'm like at the movie, but I'm trying to also, like, you know, make sure. So when she says something back, I just hear, and I'm like, I know that ain't what I think it just was. So when I look, she was like this. And I was like, oh my freaking goodness. Like, I was like stuck. Because I didn't know what to do. So not only did he give her an open hand whack in the face, I went to look over again, because I don't know if he thought, I don't know. First of all, what was you even thinking, sir? Like, what? But secondly, I don't think he knew I was a kid. But even if you didn't know that I was a kid, even if you thought that I was a grown woman, excuse me? What? Excuse me? Y'all, he got louder and louder and louder, and she was like, don't do that to me. And listen, y'all, the next thing I know, this came out. This. Y'all, that man got to going to work with the broom. So imagine all you hear is whack, 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 whack. And this lady is freaking screaming and yelling and shouting. And I was just like, WTF. I didn't know, like, I didn't even want to get, I was like paralyzed with freaking fear. Because listen, my first instinct, I was like, when he first whacked her with his hand, I was like, okay, maybe I should get up and go help her. But then, like, my better mind, when the broom came out, was like, you better mind your business. Because I was like, I was going to go help her. I really wanted to help her. But then I was like, this is his house. I'm pretty sure he's going to whack you too if you get up. Like, so I was like, I'm going to call my motherfucking mother and tell my mom to come get me. Like, no, ma'am, Pam. No, ma'am. We don't do that here. Like, sir, we do not do that here. No. And definitely not in front of company. Like, you're out of line. So, yo, after all that was going down, he went back upstairs. So imagine how awkward. Because I got about half a head braid. Imagine how awkward the rest of that visit was. Like, excuse me? So listen, what messed me up even more was that sis came back over there and just kept working like ain't nothing just happened. And man, my little high school brain is just like, can I go home? Like, forget you finishing my hair. Like, can I leave? Like, I do not want to be in here. I do not feel safe in here because I don't know if, I don't even know what to call him. If Ike is gonna come and spin the bin, or if Ike is gonna lash out at me. At this point, I told her, I said, hold on, let me get my phone. So I had to go get my phone that was on the charger that was on, you know, the other side of the room. Let me get my phone. So I text my cousin, I'm like, yo, this man just went Ike and Tina on this lady. Be waiting for me outside. Like, be waiting for me. Like, I'm literally going to give this lady her Skrilla. And I'm running out the front door. So as she's breaking my head, she's like crying. So I'm like, are you okay? Which, of course, duh, they not okay. But I didn't know, well, I don't know what else to say. But are you okay? Are you all right? So she's quiet. She's like, yeah, I'm okay. And she was like, I just want to let you know, don't ever let a man do that to you. Amazing advice, sis, but you need to tell the man in the mirror, oh yeah. You better be telling the woman in the mirror that. Great advice, great advice. But you need to go look that woman in the mirror and tell her that she went on in a speech saying, you know, has not deserving this and that. And I was like, sir, you don't deserve that either. So I appreciate you telling me, but you don't deserve that either. I said, but can you hurry up and braid my hair? Can you hurry up and braid my hair so I can go? So as she's continuing to braid my hair, Ike does come and spin the bin. And Ike come back with food. He gonna ask me, do I want something to eat? No, I don't want nothing to eat from them evil hands of yours. No, I don't. Don't offer me no food. No, I don't want nothing. You just did that. You just did what you did. Then you gonna come back. Then you gonna come back like, listen, y'all. Then he came back, y'all, like nothing never happened. Like it was like a totally different person had came downstairs, but it was the same person. Being nice, coming with food, was like, hey, do you want some food? No, I don't want no food, but y'all, I said it polite because the broom was still within arm's reach. I didn't want the broom. No, sir. I'm good. No. Y'all, I think that's the part that messed me up even more, was that you gonna come back down there pretending to be nice. Like, sir, if you don't get your ass back wherever your evil tail just came from, like, you gonna do that in front of company? Like, yo, I was just so glad when she finished my hair. When I tell y'all, I did not pass go. I did not collect $200, okay? I didn't even let her dip She dipped the braids, but I ain't even let her dry them things off. I got up out of there, and I had told my cousin, be outside. Don't be pulling up. Be outside, because I am out. Literally, y'all, after she got finished my hair, after she put the fire to them braids, after she dipped them braids, she dipped the braids. She couldn't even get the tail on them. She dipped the braids, and I ran up them steps and out that front door. Back was scalding, y'all, with the water. Back on fire. I had to go. I paid her, y'all. Of course I paid her, but I left that money, baby. Money on a dresser, driver, compressor, mess. I'm going. I got in that car so fast. I told my cousin, I said, girl, get me away from here right now. So she like, what happened? I was like, girl, get me away from here, like right now, and I'll tell you once we're away from here what is going on. Like, so my cousin, after I told her what happened, she was like, what? She was like, why you ain't call me on the phone and tell me? I said, well, first of all, girl, I didn't call you because I didn't want him to hear me on the phone or her to hear me. She was behind me. I was like, listen, sometimes stuff like that could get sticky, and people, you know, protecting people like that. I said, I could have got on the phone with you. She could have held me out from the back and they could have beat me up. I said, because listen, this is their house where he is the emperor, he is the king. I was like, no, I didn't call you because I didn't want him to hear me calling you or me being on the phone. Even though I was a kid, he don't know me. He don't know I'm no kid. He could have came back and spit the bin and got me too. Like, fight or flight. Like, I was trying to get on a flight, but half of my head was done. Like, I just was just like, what was the girl supposed to do? And then I'm not walking upstairs. Like, I was like, look, girl, you asking me all these questions. After that happened, he went upstairs. I wasn't walking upstairs. He could have been waiting at the top of the steps and could have Sparta kicked me back down the steps. Like, I don't know. I don't know these people. I'm in their houses. No. No, shorty. I wasn't coming up until I knew for a fact backup was outside in case anything went down. Y'all. Traumatized. Okay? Traumatized. I have not been back to her and no other braiding shop like that ever again. I don't do house calls. I'm not going around nobody's house to get no hair done, right? Number one, you don't know who running in and out the people's houses, number one. Number two, that was a very dangerous and sticky situation because anything could have happened. He could have jumped on me. I don't know who this man was. He could have been crazed and deranged. Like, yeah, no. Don't do house calls. But y'all, that was just something that I had to share. But hold on, I gotta get into some moral other stories for y'all. So, first things first, number one, unless you know the person, like, personally, and you know that you're in a safe environment, don't be going over people's houses to get services done unless it's, like, an actual, like, registered business address, number one. Number two, always let somebody know where you're going. And if you know somebody that's in the area, put somebody on point, because that could have went, like, real left. Like, he could have came and did something to me. Luckily, he didn't, but, like, yeah. And the biggest moral of this story is keep your hands and feet to yourself, okay? Some things are just not tolerated. Like, that was so not cool. Like, no, okay? If you are in that type of situation, Get help if you can. Try to get away if you can. Because things like that, they never get better. They only get worse. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Mary, because I never went back again. Never to see Mary again. Because that was just a bit too much for me. I hope she's okay. Like, you know, this been over 10 years later. I hope she's okay. She was a really good stylist. But in situations like that, like, no. The next move is, if anybody is willing to do that to you, they do not love you. So, yeah, they could be putting you up in the house. Yeah, they could be doing this for you and doing that for you. But if somebody is going to stoop that low to do that to you in private, but more so in front of someone else and in front of somebody that y'all don't know, they do not love you, okay? No. Like, and as always, I always ask y'all, if that was you in this situation, what would y'all have done? Like I said, I was in high school. I was shook. Like, I wasn't doing nothing. My peoples was like 45 minutes from where we was at. I wasn't doing anything. But I feel like as an adult, I would have been like, yo, like, what you doing? Like, me and Murray would have had to bank him down there, okay? He would have got done up. And I would have gave Murray some advice. And I would have let her know, when people run up, baby, they shall get done up. I should let her know, like, girl, you got this hot water over here. You got some tools over here. Use them to your advantage. But yeah, I feel like as an adult, I would have been like, yo, if you like, nah. If I was an adult, yeah, that definitely wouldn't have happened. But as a kid, like, I was definitely shook. And yeah, I just like decided just to never go back. But what would y'all have done if y'all was in that situation? Or have y'all been in that type of situation where you was out with someone or out with a friend, or just saw something crazy like that? Did you intervene? Did you not intervene? Like, yeah, I don't know. Y'all just drop it in the comments and tell me what y'all think, what y'all thoughts on that. I just thought that was real crazy. But as always, y'all, that is the end of this crazy story. So hit the thumbs up button if you like this story. Like I said, drop me a comment. For all my new subbies, thank you for joining my channel. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.